Hello everyone, welcome to our project. We are the Team F, campaigned by Mariano Abad and Fernando de la Ponte, and today we are going to present what is the pricing strategy of one of the main firms of the world, Apple. Let's get started.
To begin with, we will start off by giving you some of the main characteristics of the firm. As we have seen in class, we have three different types of companies: manufacturing companies, merchandising companies, and service companies. Apple is both a manufacturing and a merchandising company. If you remember, a manufacturing company is a company that purchases something and transforms it into something different. It converts materials into finished goods and has three types of inventories: direct materials, work in process, and finished goods. An example would be Heineken. However, a merchandising company purchases and sells without transforming, for instance, Mercadona, and only has one inventory: merchandise. Lastly, a service company provides services or intangible products and has no inventory. What is pricing strategy? Pricing strategy is a strategy selected by a company by which they select the price of a product or service. Companies have different ways of choosing the price of a product, but in this case, we will be discussing mainly about price skimming and value pricing, or rather, what Apple uses. Price skimming based on value pricing. You may be wondering what price skimming is. However, I hope you're not, since we have seen this in class. With price skimming, a product enters the market at a high price, the complete opposite to penetration pricing, which enters at a low price, while value pricing sets prices based on the perceived value for the customer. Analyzing price skimming in more detail. As previously stated, price skimming is Apple's pricing strategy by which a firm, in this case Apple, sets the highest initial price that customers would be willing to pay and then reduces it over time. By doing this, they first attract customers who are not only willing to pay high prices for the product, since they are eager to acquire it, but also have the enough resources to buy it. As time passes by, the price is lowered in order to attract a new range of customers who also desire the product but were not able to afford it at the beginning. I am sure you have all seen these and may have even experienced it. As the name indicates, psychological prices are tactics based on the idea that some prices have psychological impacts on their customers. Why is it used? To increase sales. How does it work? You set a price lower than a whole number. The most commonly used is the number 9. For instance, the price of a new MacBook Air is $999 instead of 1000. Why? Because by doing so, customers perceive the price to be lower than it really is, which makes it more attractive. Seeing a 9 at the beginning makes them believe that the price is 900. Apple is well known for its exclusivity and innovations. A prime example of this would be its colors. Different prices are being charged for different colors. Apple does not have the same colors for every one of its phones. Some only have a few, while others have many. Therefore, if you're looking for an iPhone with a specific color, you may have to pay more in order to get it, and have that cool looking iPhone 11 in that specific fire type red on your hands that matches with your red Apple Watch. One of the important questions that was posed to us when preparing this video was the evolution of pricing during the product life cycle of an iPhone. Our answer is the refurbished models, a pricing strategy that consists on setting lower prices on older models than when they came out for the first time into the market. This is with the aim to attract new customers who could not afford them years ago, or simply want to change of company. However, Apple still emphasizes the exclusivity by giving priority to new models. That is why this line is less popular than the strong models we know. What Apple's pricing strategy is, and we will continue by focusing on the strong points of its strategy, mainly stock turnover, low cost percentage of total revenues, and quantum strategy. Don't worry, this will all be explained in a few seconds by my partner, Fernando.
The first strong point derived from this pricing strategy is a stock turnover. However, as many people may not know what is this indicator and its purpose, we must define it first. The stock turnover is a formula which consists in the cost of goods sold divided by the average inventory. So basically, it indicates the number of times the inventory was sold and replaced. Here we may see that Apple has the highest ratio of all its closest competitors, which clearly states how the prices are placed correctly for their demand and there is a minimum difference, if it exists, between all the probable denominators Apple may use. We have seen that Apple manages perfectly its costs. That permits setting the exceptional price that have characterized the iPhones since they were born. However, we need numerical data that shows this reality. This is why we are presenting this graph, since as we can see, Apple costs are only the 8% of the total revenues of the firm, the lowest score of all the firms involved in the technological market. This explains the high profit of the firm has had for a decade and a half and shows the correctly working of price skimming strategy. As we have mentioned before, Apple has an incredible demand of clients, as the stock turnover ratio showed to us. This demand is just because the incredible production organization of Apple, by an incredible and efficient management of course, again it comes with the highest one in all the industry, with an incredible innovation and design of its products, which again drives to the premium prices Apple set for the products. The combination of these two characteristics is called the quantum strategy, which is a concept that was invented by the manager Loithos Herakleous and is one of the main identifiers of the business. Since there are several problems that either arise from this strategy, are related to it, or could affect Apple's pricing strategy. The first one is the controversy of Foxconn factories in China. Briefly explained, due to the quantum strategy of low cost of production, while the number of units produced is high, several employees at these offshoring facilities committed suicide during workplace by jumping off the windows. The second one is the loss of value in the stock market, where several firms are performing better than Apple, such as Microsoft. Also, its value decreased significantly in January 2019, since the CEO Steve Cook announced that they would stop reporting iPhone sales, while several people are looking for a more economic option, as Huawei or Samsung. However, it is true that nowadays its value is fully recovered, but this may be a signal that price skimming strategy does not work as before for Apple. The third problem, and the biggest one, is the situation of American companies in China, due to the commercial war, situation that may be the same with Joe Biden in the White House, rather with Donald Trump. This is a big problem since Apple loses the second biggest market worldwide, as other companies as Huawei can get stronger worldwide by having the competitive advantage in China. As we know, China is considered to be the factory of the world, and Apple is not an exception. Here is where is located the most factories of Apple products in the planet due to the low labor costs. These labor costs, as seen before, are the main driver of the pricing strategy of Apple, which permits setting high costs. We have seen the big strengths of the firm, and also the weaknesses derived from this kind of pricing strategies. However, everything has a solution if we have a proper scope, and this is the one we propose today. Instead of outsourcing to China, where Apple has a bad reputation because of the situation of Foxconn factories and because it's American origin, we could do the same in Rwanda, the African country. This country is one of the fastest growing countries, economically talking, as it grows at a rate of 8% annually its GDP. Also, it is the 49th most transparent country, even more than countries as Italy, Greece, or China, while its stability has increased in the last decade, more than countries as Argentina, United Kingdom, or Norway. Regarding the cost of producing Apple products, we can see in the graph that Apple would need to sell 401 iPhones XR, which was the model chosen for this calculation, to equalize the total cost and the total revenues instead of being 2,799 in China. This is explained by taking into account the minimum wage of both countries. In Rwanda is $342, while in China it is $1,039. I hope you enjoy our presentation about the pricing strategies of Apple. Thank you very much for your attention and see you next time. If you have any doubt, yes, ask us during the forum. Also, we will let you know the sources we use for this video.